Hi, friends. Welcome to this week's class of Dead Funny University. I am your host and fellow student, Kelsey, and this week we are talking about the world-famous sharpshooter, Hawkeye. Our professor this week is Dead Funny's Marvel man, Chris. Chris, thank you so much again for being on the show for this Marvel Marathon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's finally somebody I know a pretty good deal about, but yeah, I'm excited. I actually like his
Well,
past a
good.
lot, so I'm excited to go over this.
I've been having a really fun time listening to you kind of like check in and like rediscover some of these characters that you don't spend as much time with, like Nebula or something like
Right, for
that.
sure, for sure.
So I know Hawkeye's a little bit more in the mainstream for you. Is that right?
Yeah, only because he joined the Avengers. If it wasn't for the Avengers, I was like, so growing up, obviously I was a Marvel fan, but I did have a pretty big hard on for Green Arrow from DC. So I mean, whenever it came to Hawkeye or Green Arrow, I've always been like, well, fucking Green Arrow would fucking destroy Hawkeye. So, never been a big Hawkeye fan, honestly. It's always been Green Arrow. That was my boy. That was my favorite guy out of DC, for sure. So, it's the
All
man.
right, well, we're just going to ignore that for the next few minutes because we are here to talk about Hawkeye. So, with that in mind, would you be willing to throw your first quiz at me?
Yes. What is the first comic book appearance of Green Arrow?
Deaf people that are super cool and great role models. Number two.
She totally didn't even get it. I definitely said first comic book appearance of Green Arrow, and you just continued going
Nope,
on.
I just went off. I just went off.
Obviously, that's enough. First comic when Hawkeye joins the Avengers.
The Avengers. Two.
No, close though.
Okay.
What is Hawkeye's real name?
Chris?
Nope. It does start with a C, but it's definitely not Chris. What type of bow does he use?
Short bow?
I mean, you literally had.
Recurve bow?
No, no.
Longbow? Crossbow?
It was definitely longbow, and it was just funny that you're
Okay.
like short bow, and I'm like, if she literally just went the other direction, she would have had this. Who gave him his idea for his suit?
Black Widow?
Nope. So, you got a staggering fucking 0 on that one.
Yeah, that was painful.
That was really painful. Closest you came was fucking short bow. Your answer was just short of being correct. Got her. Fucking
You know,
got
the last
her.
few I've gotten like one off, and I've been really excited about that. And I was thinking I was going to have a trend, and apparently not.
Nope,
It's not happening.
it is
So,
not.
all right. With me knowing absolutely nothing, and I doubt many other people that are watching this knowing much more than me, give us base level knowledge, Hawkeye. Help me understand who he is.
Okay. Well, so to start with Hawkeye, he was working in his father's butcher shop. His dad was a mean old drunk, which led to both of his parents dying in a car accident because his dad was driving while under the influence. And that left him and his brother to be orphans. They stayed in a couple of housing places, didn't really work out. Decided they were going to break out, which led Hawkeye to the fun part of his childhood, which I like, traveling circus. They saw a traveling
Oh,
circus and asked if they could join, and as long as they were willing to work, they were allowed to join. During his time spent in the traveling circus, he trained under Swordsman, and that's his name, Swordsman, and Trickshot, both becoming very skilled with a sword and very skilled with a bow. So that's where he started to gain his abilities, if you will. I guess I should go
okay.
ahead and point out that he has no superpowers whatsoever. Just so that way when we get
Mm.
to that portion of this, and you're like, hey, what kind of powers do you have? Fucking nothing.
Fucking nothing.
Okay. Anyways, so all life was good and fun until one day he saw his trainer, Swordsman, stealing money from the circus and was very upset about it. And the swordsman offered him to take a slice of the pie and be his apprentice. And he said no. Turned down the life of crime. Well, this caused Swordsman to kind of like beat him up a little bit and then run away from the circus so he could get away with the money. And when his brother found out about it, he told his brother what happened. His brother actually disowned him for not taking a cut of that pie so that way they could make a lot of money and have better
Oh.
lives. So that happening, obviously the brother left the circus, and then Trickshot spent a lot more time with Hawkeye trying to help him get over it and mentoring him a little bit more, which is why he favors the bow over everything else. It's kind of just like an emotional thing, if you will. So then he started to become the next main archery attraction at the circus as Trickshot started to get on in his years, leading to them doing a carnival where actually, no, this happened first. So he was still with that carnival, and then his brother and swordsman attacked the carnival trying to steal more money, but they were like masked and shit like that, and they didn't know it was the same carnival. And Hawkeye taking them down with arrows, not killing them, but hurting them, ended up finding out that that was his brother, and it really kind of fucked him up inside. So he left that carnival for good, and then did a couple shows here and there with some other runaway carnivals. And in one of them that he was doing in New York, what fucking ride was it? We'll just go with roller coaster. I don't remember what the ride was, so forgive me for that. But roller coaster goes off the fucking rails. And Hawkeye, being completely useless, wasn't able to do anything about it. Iron Man shows up to save the day. And everybody was just captivated by Iron Man. And he was not okay with that because he was the world's greatest marksman. And it was in the middle of his show. So he's like, if they want to see a fancy suit, then I'll give them a fancy suit. And that is who gave him the idea for his first suit was Iron Man, actually. So he makes his first suit and then makes some fancy smancy gadgets because, you know, he doesn't have any superpowers. So like his grappling arrows and stuff like that, and decides that he's going to go around and try to be a hero. So he sees a bank heist happening, and it's nighttime, and he ends up pinning the guy up against a wall with some arrows, and the dude drops the bag of money. Hawkeye drops down to see what the guy was trying to steal right as the police get out of their car, making it look like Hawkeye was the person who was stealing and was already banded as a criminal with his brand new outfit.
Oh no.
Yes. So yeah, sucks to suck, honestly. It sucks to suck. Anyways, so we get a little deeper into this. He ends up running away, and right before he's caught, he ends up running into a very attractive woman who tells him to get in her car. And she starts driving to save him. Sooner or later, he becomes very seduced by her and her looks. And she is none other than Mrs. Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, who ends up talking Hawkeye into getting revenge on Iron Man and breaking into his lab. I think she stole some of his tech pre them breaking in to kind of like give Hawkeye a little bit of an advantage over Iron Man. But Iron Man's fucking Iron Man. You don't fuck with the goddamn Iron Avenger. He don't play. And Hawkeye trying to take him down some arrows, he deflects one of the arrows, and it actually ends up hitting Black Widow and damaging her pretty bad. And he feels extremely horrible about this. He escapes with Black Widow and wants to, or it gets like a real good look at his life overall, and sees like he turned down being a criminal a long time ago, and he doesn't want to be a criminal. He wants to be a hero. So he ends up getting into the Avengers by doing a program where Captain America is doing first time criminals a chance to be superheroes. And that's also the same time that Scarlet Witch and fucking Quicksilver were brought on, by the way. And they are trained under Captain America for a certain amount of time until he deems them okay to be an Avenger. And Hawkeye got in and has been an Avenger ever since. And that is our marksman friend there. Other than that, one cool little fact to point out is how strong he is, considering the fact that he doesn't have any superpowers, but he does know like martial arts. He trained under the swordsman. He also trained under Trickshot for his bow and shit like that. He's crazy good with gymnastics and shit, being in the circus and all this other stuff like that. He's also trained under Captain America in a lot of different styles of fighting, if you will, because Captain America knows like every fucking style of fighting known to man, which is fucking crazy. But he is strong enough that his bow's draw is 250 pounds. Yeah. So imagine that next time you see him in a movie. Drawing 250 fucking pounds per arrow.
Just
and
as
see
fast
how
as
fast
he can.
He does. Yeah, exactly. 250 pound longbow.
That's insane. Why?
The distance.
That's just.
The
I mean,
distance. That
yeah,
thing's gonna
I guess.
fucking rocket launch some arrows. I mean, I'm surprised he's not taking down fucking buildings with that goddamn thing. Putting that shit
Jeez.
through fucking cement. Oh man, be great.
Okay. So I've got all kinds of questions if this is the base
Boom.
level knowledge you want us to start with. Okay.
Yes. I
So,
feel childhood to Avengers is pretty good. I guess the only things I should say, solely because they were questions and I didn't cover those. His real name is Clint Barton,
Clint Barton.
which has been said plenty of times in the movies, so you should know this
I
by now.
know. God, what is wrong with me? Okay.
His first comic book appearance was Tales of Suspense number 57 in 1964 of September, and he was a villain, obviously, because that's like his first stint was technically a villain. And his first comic when Hawkeye actually joined the Avengers was the Avengers number 16. You said 2. Number 16. That's pretty close. Pretty close.
That was
In
closer than the rest of what I guessed.
Yeah. In May 1965. So he was a villain for a little bit less than a year.
Wow.
Yep, September to May, and then he was an Avenger. They saw the potential in him, even though he has 0 superpowers. And they're like, we're going to put this guy on the Avengers and stand next to people with the Hulk and Thor. Because that makes fucking sense.
Not that you're salty about this or anything.
I mean, it's the same shit on the other foot. For sure with DC. I mean, you got people like fucking Superman, but yet you've got fucking Green Arrow just fucking chilling out. Like, what's up, guys? I'm here. Woo-woo. With a Flash. But, you know, I don't get. Like, the comics, he's so goddamn strong. But the movies and the games, Flash is known as, like, ground detail with Green Arrow, and it makes no sense. Like, Flash could legitimately just put his hand against anybody's face and just vibrate his hand and literally blow their fucking brains out. Like, he is super fucking strong. It's dumb. It's dumb. But anyways, we're not talking about the Flash. It gets me. He was actually my first favorite DC character, and then I went to Green Arrow pretty quickly after that, but it just still irks me how, like, low played he is in, like, everything but the fucking comics. Like, I don't get it. Oh, well. Anyways.
I love it when you go off on these rabbit trails because you will entertain yourself the whole way down the rabbit trail and then realize you need to come back and entertain yourself the whole way back to the subject. It cracks me up. Okay, so Clint Barton, does he have any other aliases or names that he goes by? Or is it just Clint Barton and Hawkeye and that's it?
Yeah, his first alias was Hawkeye. When he first started doing his own shows, he called himself Hawkeye.
What's his brother's name?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of this one from memory, solely for the fact that I actually knew something. So I really didn't do too much brushing up on this. A little bit, but not a lot. So from memory, I can tell you right now, I don't remember his mom's, his dad, or his brother's name. But they exist. I know they exist.
You're failing me.
They're out there.
Chris, you're just failing me. I'm so disappointed.
Hawkeye is like a Z-level Avenger at best. I'm not going to fucking pay attention to his fucking deadbeat father and his dead mother and his possibly dead brother. Who cares? He's a deadbeat too. Who cares? They're not important. They're not important.
They're in the movies, but they don't matter.
I don't think they're in the movies.
No, sorry, his family isn't in the movies. He is.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the opening part of Endgame. Is just let's do a quick update on Clint Barton's family and how he got to this point.
I mean,
oh, that would entertain the crap out of me. That'd be great. I would laugh so hard. I'd be the only one.
I remember being in the fucking theaters and sitting there watching commercials, and a commercial came on for the fucking oh my god, the Bourne movie, where Jeremy Renner is actually like the first, and I thought it was a Hawkeye movie. Like, I was sitting there watching it until it did the whole Bourne. I was like, they're making a fucking Hawkeye movie? Is this for real? I was like, holy shit. And all of a sudden it was like Bourne. I was like, they did that shit on purpose. They're like, let's see how many people we can get excited for a Hawkeye movie and then not make one.
Oh man, that would have been really funny, actually.
Barney is the name of his brother. Boom.
Nice.
Not
I had him
memory.
on here as Broski. That's what I was going to call him.
Well,
so
it's fucking Barney the Purple Dinosaur. So
Ew.
Sucks to
Okay.
suck. And he's also from Waverly, Iowa.
Waverly, Iowa. That sounds very small.
It sounds very boring.
Yeah, if you're from Waverly, Iowa, please put a population count in the comments below so we have some kind of concept of how small Waverly, Iowa is.
I mean, honestly, you could just hit us up on the Twitter with that one because I'm pretty sure that you are well within the number of the characters allotted on Twitter. So, completely fine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right,
Got
so it
him.
sounds like he is definitely male, and it sounds like he's heterosexual because I know he's got a thing with Black Widow.
And he's got a wife.
Does that
in
sound
the
correct?
movies. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And definitely human.
What?
Definitely human, correct?
Yes. Yes.
There's no blood of anything else running around causing problems.
No.
Good. Okay, so he's an amazing swordsman, obviously an incredible bowman. Has gymnastics and various other fighting styles that he knows after learning from Cap. Is there anything else that we would qualify as like his skills?
Well, let's see. His abilities. Oh, that's right. He does go by the name Ronin for a while. I think that's actually what we're gonna see in the movie too. It's like this whole fucking like assassin thing where he goes by Ronin or he just starts accusing people and shit like that. So, anyways, master archer and marksman, expert tactician, acrobat, and hand-to-hand combat. Uses a variety of trick arrows, and then as Goliath, which he had super strength and durability, size, and mass manipulation. I don't remember him being Goliath, but apparently that's something that happened. Goliath. Oh, it's whenever fucking does he take Pym particles? He was the first to adopt the Goliath name. Barton Better, also known as the human Hawkeye. He used the Pym size changing gas to adopt the Goliath powers and identify shortly as Hank Pym was Yellow Jacket. So yes, he played a short stint as Goliath. So yeah. So I wouldn't really incorporate that into anything because it apparently wasn't that long. So.
Okay, got it. Oh man, that's quite an origin story. And the movie seemed to hint at kind of at least some kind of military background. Is that part of his story?
What now? Sorry.
The movie seemed to hint at a military type background. Is that part of his story at all?
No, not his original, but I mean, obviously he's been redone multiple times, so I'm pretty sure there's one out there that does do that. If not, they just made it
at least one
than him playing fucking Robin Hood. So
now it seems like he's got a pretty close relationship with Trickshot. Does Trickshot eventually die? And is that a crucial moment for him in any way?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I didn't.
And obviously, Black Widow and Cap are probably some pretty important people for him.
Right.
Okay. Is he close with BFF. Is he close with any of the other Avengers?
I mean, they're all friends, but they just kind of give each other shit. I mean, last time I read a comic, I mean, him and fucking Iron Man weren't too fucking friendly, but believe it or not, fucking
you don't say.
Ultron had just wiped out like 80% of the population, and they both stood on two completely different fucking sides of what they should do next. So
that would do it.
Bound to happen. It's bound to happen. So
he's clearly part of the Avengers, but it sounds like he's almost part of like the Avengers Part 2, where it's not the original Avengers, it's everybody that Cap's bringing on afterwards. Is that correct? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wasn't part of the original draft, no.
Okay. Second round. I like that. That's a good way of saying it. So now, does he have any other than
place, which is a second place because he's a fucking loser. God.
You are so salty about Hawkeye. Oh my gosh. Walk it off, Chris.
Apparently Trickshot did that, by the way. He had cancer.
No. Trickshot died from cancer. That's terrible, because I'm pretty sure you don't get great health benefits as a carnival act.
No. I wonder.
That's unfortunate. You wonder what?
He decided. Hold on, wait. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. See, I'd never fucking read this part of fucking Hawkeye's story. It says that once he got diagnosed with his illness due to excessive drinking and unhealthy living, Trickshot developed cancer. Rather than die in a hospital bed, he decided to issue his former pupil, Hawkeye, with a death challenge, an honorable duel that he felt intended or that he fully intended on losing. Clint, now the superhero, an Avenger, Hawkeye, felt that he had no alternative to answer this challenge due to the unfinished business between the pair. On an uninhibited island in the Greek Isles, Trickshot and Hawkeye battled one another, each relying on their archery skills. Hawkeye began to wonder why Trickshot was holding back with his shots. He found his answer when he defeated his former mentor. Trickshot reveals the reasons. Da, 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 da. Yep. Instead of killing him, Hawkeye proposed to help fund Trickshot's medical care.
Wow. Okay. So Trickshot decides, I want to die by something other than cancer. I'm going to make my pupil do it because this kid hasn't been through enough. Let's make him do this. And then when Hawkeye finally figures it out, Hawkeye does a reasonable thing and goes, no, I'll help you actually get through this rather than becoming the monster that kills you and having to carry that burden for the rest of my life.
What's even worse is years later, Trickshot's cancer returned, and Baron Zemo, who is a Captain America villain, offered to help fund the treatment, but only if Trickshot trains the resurrected Barney Barton. So apparently his brother died at some point. To be a master archer, Trickshot agreed, and he was soon double-crossed when the training was complete. He was then badly beaten, and his cancer is allowed to fester over a sustained period. Later, a dying Trickshot was delivered to the Avengers Tower to get the attention of Hawkeye. The Avengers tried in vain to save him, but they were too late. Before he died, Trickshot warned Hawkeye that the new villainous and the impending danger. Later, while Hawkeye battled, he found out that Barney Barnes declared himself the new Trickshot. So not only killed him, but took upon his mantle as well. Boom. There you go.
Well, that was just dark and unnecessary. Good Lord.
Well, I mean, as I was reading it, I was like, is there any way to ruin Kelsey's day? And thank God this popped on.
Yeah, let's resurrect a brother that already has a challenging relationship. Let's take a mentor and destroy their character and their body. Screw this noise. Good Lord, Marvel. Just take my little heart, my little feelings, and just rip it all to shreds for fun. Turn it into confetti. Thank you very much.
It's great.
All right.
It's great. I don't care about it.
So I was about
to ask. He sucks
anyway,
so it doesn't matter. But all right, go ahead.
You're the worst. I was about to ask if he had any particular enemies, but it sounds like he's got his brother, Swordsman, and then Trickshot for a little while. Is there anybody else, or is that enough?
I don't know if I call Trickshot an enemy, but I mean the new one, obviously.
Obviously.
Kind of like base fucking Avengers villains and shit like that. There was a while where fucking him and Deadpool had something going on, but it wasn't actually Hawkeye. It was Bullseye dressed as Hawkeye to try to frame Hawkeye for fucking killing Deadpool. But you know, you kind of can't kill Deadpool. That fucking comic book series was hilarious, by the way. Like they literally get into a fight and Deadpool ends up like falling into a butcher shop, and then like fucking all of a sudden like Bullseye turns around once again, still dressed as Hawkeye, and here's this chainsaw revving, and Deadpool kicks these freezer doors down and comes running out there, and he's like donned this dead pig. So that way, if like fucking he goes to shoot the arrows, it's not gonna penetrate the fucking dead pig's corpse. So he's just holding like he's got like these dead pig parts like all tied around him and shit like this. And just comes running at him with a fucking chainsaw. It's hilarious. Such a good comic. The best part was like Deadpool's driving this fucking monster truck, just looking for him. Like, and he ends up fucking Bullseye up big time to the point where Bullseye literally tells him, "I've never spent any money that I've made from a job." Not a single dollar. It all goes to savings. And pays him every single bit of cash just to disappear. Because that's how bad Deadpool... Like, Deadpool literally gets like a fucking meat hook and puts it through his fucking chest. Like, I mean, they get into it. But Deadpool's like driving down this fucking highway. And fucking Bullseye's sitting there on the other side of the highway. But you can't see him. It's kind of like, you know, like whenever you go under an underpass. And like it's got the fucking cement fucking like down ramps. Like he was hiding behind that. And like fucking all of a sudden Deadpool looks in the rearview mirror and he sees Bullseye behind it, and fucking Bullseye has a goddamn rocket launcher and shoots it dead at the truck. And Deadpool literally pulls sideways, and I kid you not, the missile goes through the driver window and out the passenger window. It keeps going, and you see Bullseye just staring at Deadpool, and Deadpool looks at the missile and looks back at Bullseye, and the look on his face is fucking priceless. He looks so fucking pissed off. It's so great. I miss comics. I haven't read a comic in a while. Man, it's been a minute.
You need to go do that.
I need to do
I think that'd make you happy. Oh, man. Okay, so just normal Avengers enemies are kind of his enemies other than, his brother. So Avengers is your squad. Does he have any major weaknesses?
He's deaf.
He's deaf. Other than that?
Nope. Not that I know of. That's the fact that he sucks. And he's a normal
You're
human.
terrible. Now, him being deaf, does that play into his character a lot in the comics?
They chose not to do that in the movies, but yeah, it does to an extent. I think there's like different stints where one like they repair his hearing. There's another one where like Tony Stark makes something where he's able to hear. There's another one where he's just fucking deaf. There's another one where he was never deaf. I mean, it all depends on what fucking series you pick up, and what series you start with. So.
Okay, now what is his personality like in the comics?
It's kind of like I feel like Hawkeye in the movies has slowly become like real fucking like just cynical. You know what I'm saying? He really is like this cocky jackass because he knows he's good.
So in the actual comics, he's a little bit more fun, maybe a little less serious and intense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, does he have any quirks other than being deaf, other than having just a really tragic, unnecessarily tragic backstory? Does he have any quirks about him? Things that are funny, things that are unique?
Not really. Kind of sucks.
Not really. Okay. Would you stop shitting on Hawkeye for 35 seconds? God. Does he have any quirks? No, he sucks. Does he have a personality? No, it just sucks. Does he have a creator? No, he just sucks. Like, screw you,
Look,
Chris. Jesus.
I'm sorry that I'm shitting on your favorite fucking Marvel hero, okay? Jesus. And
You aren't.
Such a fucking tie into fucking Hawkeye. Jesus. Oh.
Not my favorite character, just maybe one that deserves a bit more respect.
This is fucking Dead Funny canon right now.
Yeah, good lord.
Kelsey, Hawkeye, yeah. I'm going to have to take aluminum out from your background and fucking put Hawkeye back there.
I have been honest about who my favorite Avenger is. Although, maybe being replaced by Captain Marvel, just saying. That movie was really good. And she was really cool.
One fucking movie. Good lord.
One movie is enough. I'm apparently very fickle. All right, so Hawkeye, is he alive or dead in the comics right now? I know he's been rebooted a few times, but do you know if he's alive? Okay, got it. And do you feel like, other than he's a little bit too serious, God, I wish we were in the same room so I could actually throw things at you. Like, if I could, I would. Do you feel like his portrayal in the media is actually fairly accurate, or do you feel like they're making him too something?
Like I said, like he's got like this whole fucking serious shit going on now, and I think it's solely just for them to bring him back into the fold, because he kind of was like, yeah, I'm done. I just want to go retire on a farm and do nothing because I suck. So I might as well just do nothing anyway. And I'm guessing obviously the Thanos snap killed his parent or his wife and kids. And now it looks like he's taking on the Ronin persona and just fucking going out there and slaughtering people. And then fucking Black Widow trying to get answers. And now Black Widow finds him, and that's what we saw in that little trailer. So I think that's going to be his way back into it, which should be interesting.
Which will be interesting. God, I'm so glad you made it through that whole little speech without saying he sucked. Look at you. Personal growth.
Well, it's just like I'm scrolling through these pictures and I see a picture of Ultron, and it makes me think of like the Age of Ultron. It's like, I mean, Hulk died. How the fuck does someone as useless as Hawkeye survive that? I don't get it. I just don't get it. He's got no powers. He's good for literally nothing. Literally nothing. They would be better to dress him up as
No.
the cheerleader of the Avengers, and then he would actually serve a purpose. He could stand outside like fucking A, V.
I disagree wholeheartedly with you, you little shit. Is there anything else that you think I really need to know about Hawkeye?
That is about it.
That's about it. So it seems like he's one of our less well fleshed out characters.
I mean, he's probably been fleshed out a lot recently, but I don't read those comics, so.
Oh, so you're failing us.
It's
okay.
more along the lines of like whenever you go into a comic book store, they have it like alphabetized, and D comes way before H. And I usually stop at D and only go to D. And the sad part is I actually did go to H one time and he wasn't there. He was actually in a trash can because that's where all the sucky comics go. So I didn't really feel like getting my hands dirty and digging through there. So
I'd like to point out my face didn't change because the moment you started talking about the D and how much you go to for D, I was like, I know this is going to end up in a trash can. I know it is. I know this is happening.
Hey, I just want this to be fucking Dead Funny canon, okay? Chris always goes for the D. All right, don't you fucking worry about that. Yeah.
All right. Well, some things
joke,
are canon.
Someone was going to, so jump on board.
All right. Well, in that case, I think it's time for my final quiz. Let's walk through Hawkeye.
All right. So, first comic book appearance.
Tales of Suspense, number 57, in September of 1964. He was a villain.
First comic when Hawkeye joined the Avengers.
Avengers number 16 in May of 1965, where he's an Avenger.
What is Hawkeye's real name?
Clint Barton.
What type of bow does he use?
Longbow.
What gave him his idea for his suit? Or who, should I say?
Iron Man.
How did his parents die?
In a drunk driving accident because his dad's a dick.
Who were his two teachers and idols?
That would be Swordsman, who eventually turned into a bad guy, and Trickshot, who was a good guy, and yeah.
He died. Why
tragic backstory.
Did Clint's brother disown him?
He disowned him because Hawkeye did not take the opportunity to make them wealthy.
Why did he join the Avengers?
Oh, because at some point he realized he was becoming a bad guy and that he really didn't want to be a bad guy, and so he took the opportunity to go through Captain America's little program where he could go be a good guy.
What would be the thing that changes his mind there?
So he put on a nice new suit, went out to go fight crime, and he got basically accused of doing the crime, in this case stealing, and he was branded as a criminal.
I don't know about that. I think it was more the cops showed up and they're like, freeze. We don't let sucky superheroes on the street. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways.
You're terrible.
You're good. I was just looking for, basically it was the accident with Black Widow. The official, when she got hurt by one of his arrows, was like the life-changing moment.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, yeah, that was 3 lines down. Yes, because he accidentally shot her or hurt her.
What made him change his mind about being a villain, or made him see that he was being a villain versus actually being a good person.
Okay, cool.
And
it's on there.
How strong is his bow's draw?
250 pounds.
Fucking nutty. Bam!
That's
there you go.
That's unnecessary. That's
It's awesome.
That is my body weight plus half.
I mean,
again,
able to
that's
just
actually
fucking shoot arrows into the goddamn atmosphere. It's crazy.
That means that man can bench press me with one arm.
That's crazy. But yet he has no superpowers. Because he fucking sucks.
I'm sorry, can you... okay, since you're throwing so much shade here, can you bench press someone with one arm?
But I'm not trying to act like an Avenger either.
That's true, I guess.
I'm not acting out of my league. See, I know I'm shit. So I do YouTube. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to act like an Avenger. Now, if I was putting on a suit and trying to go out there, absolutely. But I'm not doing that.
All right, that's fair. You're staying in your weight class.
Exactly. I know where my lane is. I would die.
And it's the
easily.
Jungle.
And I'm sitting there too, but let's fucking get it. Let's get it.
Yeah, one trick pony. Oh,
Ah,
man. All right, so I mostly passed that. I think I only got one wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you were pretty much there.
Yeah, good. Well, everybody, that will do it for our class on Hawkeye. Please tune in to our class again next week because we'll be taking a look at another famous Wakandonian. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when to come to class. Please always come and interact with us in the comments below, on the Twitch links below, or of course follow us on Twitter. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. Bye, friends.